upon a time, in a small village, there was a young girl named Emma who loved to learn. But her family was poor, and they couldn't afford to send her to school. Every day she watched other children walk to class, wishing she could join them. One day, a kind teacher named Mrs. Collins noticed Emma sitting outside the school, looking longingly at the students. She approached Emma and asked about her dream. When Emma shared her love for learning, Mrs. Collins decided to help. The teacher arranged for Emma to attend school for free, and over time, Emma became one of the best students. She worked hard and eventually earned a scholarship to a prestigious university. Years later, Emma returned to her village as a successful doctor. She never forgot Mrs. Collins's kindness and opened a school to ensure that no child in her village would ever be denied the gift of education. The story of Emma reminds us that education is a powerful gift that can change lives and uplift entire communities.
Says Pinky and the Magical Cartoon World. Once upon a time, there was a sweet little princess named Pinky. She absolutely loved watching cartoons, but she wasn't just any ordinary princess. Pinky had a magical remote control that allowed her to travel into any cartoon world she wanted. One day, while sitting in her room watching cartoons, Pinky had a brilliant idea. Why not use her magical remote today? She grabbed the remote, pressed a button, and suddenly found herself inside an amazing cartoon world. Everything there was alive and bursting with color. The clouds were like melting marshmallows, the trees were made of chocolate, and the streets were covered with rainbow-colored candies. Pinky was having the time of her life. But soon, she noticed that everything seemed to repeat, just like the cartoons she always watched. The characters kept doing the same things over and over again. Pinky thought that this world needed something new. Just then, she met a cartoon creature named Penciler. Penciler's job was to create new cartoon characters in this world, but he needed help. Pinky and Penciler teamed up. Pinky used her creativity to design new characters, like a superhero rabbit who could run faster than lightning, and a magical cat with rainbow-colored superpowers. As the new characters joined the magical world, everything changed. The world became even more fun and exciting. Pinky learned that bringing creativity and new ideas always makes life more joyful for everyone. In the end, Pinky used the remote again and returned to her palace. But the magical cartoon world remained in her heart, and she would often visit her new friends whenever she picked up the remote. Princess Pinky learned that creativity can bring new adventures every day. And now, whenever she picked up the remote, she knew that a new, exciting world was waiting for her. Once upon a time, in a beautiful village, there lived a girl named Nahid. Nahid loved flowers very much, and she planted new varieties in her garden every day. Her garden bloomed with flowers of every color and type. People said that Nahid's flowers were special because whenever someone inhaled their fragrance, their heart filled with joy. One day, Nahid heard about a magical lake outside the village, said to contain water with special powers. It was rumored that anyone could fulfill their wishes by drinking from this water. Nahid thought that if she could add the lake's water to her flowers, they would become even more beautiful and fragrant. She decided to embark on a journey to the lake. Nahid began her journey, enjoying many beautiful sights along the way. She passed through mountains, valleys, and forests. Eventually, she arrived at the edge of the lake. The water sparkled and was a brilliant blue, surrounded by many colorful flowers. Nahid dipped her hand into the water and pulled out a shining droplet. As she was about to leave with it, an old magician appeared before her. The magician stopped Nahid and said, "You must pass a test before you can use this water in your flowers." "I am ready," Nahid replied. The magician brought a flower to life with his magical powers and said, "If you can create a new story inspired by this flower's fragrance, you may take the water." Nahid thought deeply and then began her story. Once upon a time, in a garden, there was a beautiful rose. It delighted everyone with its fragrance, but it felt lonely. One day, a blue lily arrived and asked, "Why are you alone?" The rose replied, "Because I'm different, due to my color." The lily smiled and said, "Our colors may differ, but our fragrance is the same." The rose thought and decided that it was not alone, but could live happily with all the flowers. From then on, the rose and lily became friends and shared happiness in their garden. When Nahid finished her story, the magician smiled. "Very well, you have succeeded. You may take the water, but remember, true joy lies in friendship and love." Nahid filled her bottle with the lake's water and joyfully made her way back to her garden. Upon her return, she mixed the water with her flowers. They became more beautiful, fragrant, and vibrant than ever before. Villagers began visiting her garden, gathering to hear the stories of Nahid's love and friendship. Nahid taught them that the magic of love and friendship is more powerful than any flower, and her blooms continued to be a source of joy and love. And so Nahid and her magical world of flowers continued to shine brightly forever.